We were talking about Joe Burrow. McLevin, let's go.
If you were Joe Burrow, would you tell the Bengals not to draft me? Nothing against Cincinnati, the town, just because they're such a bad team right now. He's got, a 5-year window on a rookie contract. Is there any way they can build a champion around him with Zach Taylor at coach?
Well, that I don't know. My biggest question mark is the head coach. Is he a head coach? And I don't know that. I would have gone out and hired Joe Brady as my offensive coordinator. If I'm all in on Joe Burrow, I go get Joe Brady. And I bring the quarterback whisperer in that he had at LSU. Instead, Joe Brady ends up going to Carolina. And that seems like a really good hire for them. But if I'm bringing him in, then I'm bringing in a package deal. It's like college basketball used to bring in the coach of the star player sometimes and put him on the bench as an assistant coach. But is this just you trying to lobby for the Bengals to keep Andy Dalton?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Dalton needs to get it. I've been watching the Bengals for so long now, and they had so much talent come through in the last 8 years, and it doesn't seem like they've used it in the right way.
Yes, Paul.
But if you're Joe Burrow in college, he got to find a better situation. He was in a situation that wasn't favorable, and he has the option to find it. This may be the one time in his career where he has the juice to say to Cincinnati, no. And in this culture, it probably won't be looked down upon like it was. Elway took a lot of heat. Eli took a little heat. This guy's not going to get much heat. No one's going to say, hey, the Bengals are a franchise you should go to. And
yeah, but the reason why he ended up at LSU is because he didn't win the job at Ohio State.
I guess what I'm saying is the draft, he only has a little bit of control here, but he could pull this. And if he says, I'm not playing for them, it opens up the trade market and it forces a trade. Eli did the same thing.
Yeah.
If you said you could force Miami or open the door for Miami to jump up, and he can't go back. That's his one chip that it doesn't help him. He can't go back, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would absolutely do it if I were Joe Burrow. The Bengals have done nothing in their career to make you think that they're going to help your career.
But the reason why you're going to be in that position is because the Bengals have been bad. Good teams aren't usually drafting number one overall. There's a reason why they're drafting number one. They earned it. Washington improved at the end of the year. Miami improved at the end of the year. The Bengals were just bad from start to finish. Yes, McLevin.
Maybe you get lucky sometimes, like the Colts when Peyton Manning gets hurt and they get an Andrew Luck, or the Spurs when David Robinson get hurt. That's like the kind of situation you want to find.
Yeah, I understand if he wouldn't want to play there. If I'm Joe Burrow, I wouldn't want to play there, and that's the team that I grew up rooting for, being from Cincinnati. But they show me nothing that has an infrastructure that I would be confident with, that I look at a roster there and I go, it just feels like failure is waiting for Joe Burrow. And it's not because it's, him. It's just you're going to be in a questionable environment there for a few years. And do you have confidence in that coach? Do you have confidence in that front office? And I would be really nervous about that. I don't know if he says, hey, I'm going to pull an Eli or a John Elway. I understand it from the business perspective. I do. But I don't know if Joe Burrow is that adverse to playing in the state of Ohio, even though he probably grew up a Cleveland Browns fan. Yes, McLevin.
Is Joe Burrow the kind of quarterback that can put a franchise on his back? Is he that good?
I've only seen him for one season where he did a great job. He did an unbelievable job. Maybe he had the greatest season of all time for a quarterback. But I don't know if he's somebody where you go, you're still going to be good and competitive because of him. And I don't know that. Kyler Murray, it felt like you could still be competitive with him in there, with his talent. Lamar Jackson, you might be still competitive no matter what kind of talent you have around him. Maybe you could say that about Patrick Mahomes. There aren't many young quarterbacks that you can say that about. But Joe Burrow answered every question that people had about him. But this is a really big question to go in there and then try to continue to do it. His touchdown to interception ratio was 60-6. You're not going to have those receivers in there in the NFL. So you start there and you go, I got I got a good running back. I don't know what I have at the skill position. I mean, AJ Green, it just feels like he has been constantly injured here.
Free agent too.
Yeah. So,
by the way, Joe Mixon's okay. He's okay.
What kind of numbers did Joe Mixon have?
It doesn't matter because I'm telling you, that guy could find a tackler in a pitch black room. Trust me. He came on at the end of the year when everyone was playing prevent against the Bengals.
Okay. Does anybody love Joe Burrow enough to go get him?
Panthers with Joe Brady at number 7.
It would be a great splash for a team that just lost Luke Kuechly. And if you take Cam Newton off the books, you got Christian McCaffrey and Joe Burrow, and you can. What do they have to trade? The Bengals.
McCaffrey?
Well, no, you're not going to trade McCaffrey.
Why not?
No, he's the face of the franchise.
Not if you get Joe Burrow.
I know, but don't you want McCaffrey and Burrow together? Would Cincinnati take Cam Newton and a bag of rocks?
Well, Cam Newton's in a different situation financially, I think. I don't think he's a trade bait.
Okay, I'm just...
Actually, that's not a bad swap when you think about everything, yeah.
If we're trying to propose something, now I wouldn't do it if I'm Cincinnati, but then Cincinnati's done things that I wouldn't do. Do you trade? What could you trade to Cincinnati to get the number 1 pick?
Well, usually it's draft picks.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of them. It's just the Dolphins have 3 first-round draft picks. If you said, we'll give you 3 first-round draft picks, and they can still get Tua, if you're Cincinnati, would you do that? If you're Miami, would you do that? If I give you 3 first-round picks this year, you know you can still get Tua, I'd strongly consider that. Cincinnati needs a whole lot more than just Joe Burrow. And you can have a franchise quarterback, but if you don't have a team around him, he's not a franchise quarterback. He's just a quarterback in survival mode. And that's what it'll be for Joe Burrow.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.